All is not fair in love, and if the love is dead, then it is certainly a war. That's the formula being applied by several adult independent minded women today who voluntarily consent to premarital sex but then charge their boyfriends for rape if the marriage does not take place for any reason. In a current judgment from the Supreme Court of India, a man has been acquitted from charges of repeated rape upon a woman after promising her marriage. What was this case about? The victim and the accused were about 22 years of age and close relatives. The complainant woman had lodged a complaint against the accused, stating that he had obtained a forced consent from her by giving her a promise to marry. When the accused did not marry her, the complainant lodged an FIR against him, accusing him of duping her after sexual intercourse. Now let us understand what were the brief contents of her FIR. As per the complaint and the statement given by the victim, the couple had sexual intercourse thrice. They first met at a family function where both exchanged their phone numbers, and after a few days, the accused expressed his desire to marry the victim. This is when the victim categorically told him that she was studying at that point in time and would consider marriage only after completing her studies. However, the duo got into a relationship which resulted in frequent conversations and exchange of messages over the mobile phone and intermittent visits by the accused to the house of the victim's grandmother where she was residing. The complainant said that in April 2021, at the request of the accused, she accompanied him to a movie, after which she started feeling dizzy. Subsequently, they hired a hotel room where, according to the victim, there was an abrupt and unexpected sexual intercourse under coercion against her wish. The complainant further added that despite protesting and crying, the accused continued the act, after which she told him that he had ruined her life. The complainant further added that despite protesting and crying, the accused continued the act, after which she told him that he had ruined her life. It was at this juncture that a promise was made by the accused by putting his hand on her head, committing that he would marry her. After this, the victim claims that the accused called her at the same hotel again on pretext of discussing marriage. This time too, the woman claimed that the accused did not discuss marriage with her until she gave in to his sexual intercourse demands. The same incident repeated for the third time, where the victim claimed threats of backing out from marriage if she did not get intimate with the accused. After this meeting, the accused allegedly stopped answering her calls, and thus the woman ended up filing this rape FIR. The accused, on the other hand, had accordingly approached the Madras High Court for quashing this matter, which refused to entertain his plea under Section 482 of the CRPC. Now, what were the observations and findings by the Supreme Court of India? A bench of Justices Sudhanshu Dhulia and K. Vinod Chandran at the outset observed that the allegation of forceful intercourse on threat and coercion was not believable given the relationship admitted between the parties and the willing and repeated excursions to hotel rooms. The top court said that going by the complaint and the statement by the victim, the promise, if any, was after the first physical intercourse, and even later the allegation was forceful intercourse without any consent. The bench was of the opinion that in all three instances, the allegation was that the intercourse was on threat and coercion and there is no consent spoken of by the victim, in which case there cannot be any inducement found on a promise held out. Examining the appeal by the appellant against the refusal of Madras High Court to entertain his plea, the bench said, "We are not convinced that the sexual relationship admitted by both the parties was without the consent of the victim. That they were closely related and were in a relationship is admitted by the victim." The Supreme Court further added, "The allegation is also of threat and coercion against the victim to have sexual intercourse with the accused, which, even as per victim's statement, was repeated thrice in the same manner when she willingly accompanied the accused to a hotel room. The victim had also categorically stated that after the first incident and the second incident, she was mentally upset, but that did not caution her from again accompanying the accused to the hotel rooms." Concluding and quashing this matter, the Supreme Court said, "Having heard both sides in this case, we have absolutely no doubt in our mind that the criminal proceedings initiated against the present appellant are nothing but an abuse of process of the court. This is precisely a case where the High Court should have interfered in exercise of its inherent and extraordinary powers under Section 482 of the CRPC. These proceedings cannot go on. Hence, we direct that the proceedings initiated at the instance of the complainant, which are presently going on before a sessions court in Erode, hereby stand quashed." Now, what is Voice for Men India take in this case? Adult women must be treated as adults. If you are independent and strong enough to make your own life decisions, you must also be fully responsible towards the consequences of those choices. One cannot have an emotional or physical relationship on the promise of anything in return. For all those women who are extremely sensitive and who feel that premarital sex must lead to marriage, else their lives could be perhaps ruined, please refrain from indulging in such acts before marriage. Consensual intimacy cannot be used as a weapon against any individual, forcing him to marry you. All relationships may not culminate into marriage, but the choice is yours, whether you want to move on with a better caring individual or you want to end up at courts in the hope of some perceived revenge. Keep following us on our social media handles, that is X, Instagram, Facebook and Telegram. The ID is @voiceformenin. If you're active on LinkedIn, you can follow our handle voiceformenindia. You can also read several other articles and judgments on our website voiceformenindia.com. If you find value in our videos, do consider giving us a like and sharing the same ahead to spread awareness. Lastly, do hit that bell icon and subscribe to YouTube channel Voice for Men India for regular updates. That's it from me as of now. Thank you very much for watching. Namaste. Jai Hind.